Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blitzkrieg, our own strategic affairs show. Khalistan has always been a tool in the hands of Pakistan and powers inimical to India to twist the narrative in Punjab. More so amongst the Sikh community outside India, especially in the US, Canada, and the UK. Also, some other countries in Europe. Today, I have a special guest, Mr. Sukhi Chahal. Sukhi Chahal has been fighting a lone battle against Khalistanis who try to muddy the waters where India's reputation is concerned. This Indian, this proud Sikh, has been proudly carrying the tricolour everywhere he goes. Sukhi Chahal Saab, a very, very warm welcome to our show and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar and Sat Sri Akal.
Sukhi Chahal Saab, my first question to you is, sir, you have been fighting this lone battle against Khalistanis everywhere. I mean, whether it's in UK, whether it's in Canada or the US where you live. They are many and you are alone. Is there any sense of fear? Is there any sense of repercussion? Because those people, many of them have got very violent pasts and you seem to be confronting them head on at every corner. I've seen that video of yours, you standing alone with hundreds of Khalistanis in front of you. Is there no sense of fear at all, sir?
Gaurav Sahib, first of all, we have to remember, I believe in the philosophy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and I am the son of Guru Gobind Singh. So that's where I draw my strength from, because I fight against the injustice. Like these Khalistani, so these so-called Khalistani, fake Khalistani, they do not have a very good following, neither in Canada, nor in US, nor in UK. But they pretend that they have a lots of following, and they do have some people actually, so those who are very dedicated, like maybe 50 to 100 within US, some in Canada, some in UK. I am not scared of these people because I am fighting this battle not 1 year, 5 year, I'm fighting from the almost 30 year in USA. So there's no reason to be scared because I am what I'm doing actually. So I'm doing for the Sikhi because these people, these so-called Khalistani, they are the biggest enemy of the Sikhi and the Sikhism. So that's why I'm fighting the war, not behalf of anybody, just behalf of especially the Sikh community, because this is very important with the way they are doing what they are doing on behalf of the Pakistan. It is very dangerous, especially for my future generation. So that's why for me, even if they want to scare me, they always threaten me. They always do. They have tried everything on me, but it did not work out. And for me, I will continue fighting this war. Does not matter what it takes.
Absolutely. Now, Chahal Saab, my next question to you is, you also mentioned during our past conversations that the so-called Khalistanis have been misusing the sacred premises of various Gurdwara Sahibs all over the world, to propagate their own falsehood, their propaganda everywhere. How has this come about? How has this come about over a period of time that they're able to use the Gurdwaras to forward their own propaganda?
Yes, Major Sahib, this is the biggest concern we have actually. So because these people, I can give you 3 examples, and one in Canada, one in Surrey, one of the oldest Gurdwara over there, his president is Mr. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and he is the wanted terrorist in India. And that guy has no contribution in the Sikh community, and so now they make him the president of a Gurdwara, because the Gurdwara is a central piece not only for the religious practice, even for our daily activity. We always get together in the Gurdwara whenever if there's any issue in the community. So that's why this is the ready-made platform for them in the Gurdwara, and also it is a source of the funding. They have taken the Gurdwara in Surrey, and they have taken the Gurdwara in UK, in Southall Gurdwara in UK, in London, and also the third Gurdwara Sahib, which is the prominent Gurdwara Sahib in Stockton, California, which is half an hour away, 45 minutes away from my home. That Gurdwara is one of the prominent Gurdwara Sahib, one of the oldest Gurdwara Sahib, which was built in 1910 by the people, those who started the Ghadar movement. That Gurdwara Sahib sponsored the education of Dalip Singh Sond. Dalip Singh Sond became the first congressman in US from the Asian country. So that's why, like now, these people they have taken over these gurdwara. By taking over these gurdwara, they are misusing the gurdwara premises, and they are using this tool as a propaganda, and which is a very dangerous, because even for the Sikh community, actually, so for the Sikhism, the message is very wrong. And also, biggest threat is our new generation. They don't want to come to the gurdwara, because these people, these shameless Khalistani people, they come over there, they put their poster over there, they say, like, so we want to have the Khalistan, we want to have a referendum done. Now they have to register the votes over there, and they promote the violence. They promote the violence even inside the Gurdwara. So that's why the new generation of the Sikh community is not coming to the Gurdwara, which is a very biggest concern to us.
Chahal Sahab, now you see there is a very strong and a very obvious Pakistan connection in all this. So Pakistan is funding these so-called Khalistanis, and these Khalistanis are also taken to Pakistan, where they are seen with their army chief, with the ISI people, their Pakistani handlers of the Pakistan army. They are seen everywhere. Now, this is extremely obvious. My question to you is, doesn't the government in Canada or the US or UK realize that these people are actually terrorists? They have, they've been involved in bombing of Kanishka, that Air India plane, and they've been involved in so many murders and assassinations and terrorist activities. And yet these people are tolerated there. Why are these people tolerated abroad?
So this is the sad part, sir. This is one of the biggest tragedy, because we see actually so where the funding is coming from, who is supporting these people, because even they don't want to hide actually, because the kind of love affair they show toward the Pakistan, which is unacceptable. And they always try to project, they always try to promote like the Pakistan is very close to the Sikh people, which is not the reality. And also, whenever any incident happen in the Pakistan, especially many of the hundreds of the girls of the Sikh community, Sikh people are being converted, are being forced into the marriage, in the Islamic marriage. So that is they don't want to say anything regarding that, and they don't want to even raise their voice against that. And they always claim that they believe in the human rights, and they always talk about the human rights violation on the US, or they don't want to talk about the human rights violation happening in Pakistan, especially happening within the Sikh community inside the Pakistan, where the girls are being converted, they are being forcibly kidnapped. So this is the biggest concern. And also some of the people, because if you really take a look on the how the politics works in the Canada and some of the part in the US too, Punjabi people, they do lots of funding. And what these people actually, so the way they are getting the funding actually, so some of the politician, for them it doesn't not matter what is happening outside, what is their intention is. For them, this is the source of the funding.
Chahal Sahab, the next question is like organizations like Khalsa Aid, organizations like Sikhs for Justice. What is their role in this entire so-called Khalistan movement? And because they have their tentacles deep inside various societies, and they can impress upon young Sikh minds and tell them stories, which are fake stories, fake narratives, to turn them against India. So what is the role of Sikhs for Justice, and what is the role of organizations like Khalsa Aid?
So Sikhs for Justice, because there is one thing actually, so we have to keep in mind, because whatever happened in 1984 or a little bit before that, the attack on the Darbar Sahib in Amritsar, and also what happened in the genocide of the 1984 Sikh genocide by the Congress goons in Delhi and also the other areas, other states, that was one of the biggest tragedy and one of the biggest blunder, because Sikh people has so much contribution in the freedom and also in the other areas in India and outside India. These people, like the people like Sikhs for Justice, they take these few like the issues, and they always pretend that we will be fighting on behalf of them, behalf of the Sikh community. And in 2013, this Mr. Pannu, he issued a statement that he's going to give the $1 million to who will be able to or who will help to convict the Sajjan Kumar and the other people involved in the 1984. Now the Sajjan Kumar is behind the bars. Where what happened to that $1 million? And that was the agenda. Actually, he built his dukandari. We call it the dukandari because that's their business. And he started from there slowly, actually. So he tried to manipulate the people's mind. And now, because he was able to gain the momentum, people were with him actually. So he's gonna do something positive to get the justice for the 1984. Eventually, now they are trying to make it as a anti-India activity, and also now slowly actually, so they are asking for the Khalistan, which 99.9% people in diaspora, they are not in the favor of Khalistan, because for us the whole India is Khalistan. And also we have to keep in mind there is a more than 50%, like more than half of the people whatever lives in Punjab, more than half of them, more Sikh people lives in India outside Punjab. If anything like that happen, the way they are projecting, they need the Khalistan. And so what is going to happen to these people? They don't have any question to these answers. So that's why they try to suppress the voice of anybody who asks this question. The Sikhs for Justice, it was a Sikhs for Justice to start with. Now it is called Sikhs for Justice International. Nobody knows how much funding they are getting, from where they are getting all the funding, because they don't want to disclose. There's no transparency. If anybody asks a question, they will go after that person, they will suppress them. So that's why people have lost the interest. Now they are trying to build the momentum for so-called fake referendum. That referendum has a no credibility, it has a no say. People have totally discarded them in the diaspora, but they are trying their all the method actually to so that they have a little bit say. But these organizations, these so-called organization, they have been discarded and they have no credibility on the ground. But they are very good on the especially on the social media to project themselves that they are the leaders of the Sikh community.
Chael Sahab, I agree with you on your views of 1984 and also, the attack that happened on Harmandir Sahib. I'm absolutely with you, and I'm personally actually witness to 1984 riots. A lot of people comment on the riots, and a lot of people have opinions. I saw the riots from the top of our building. I'm personally witness. So, I still sometimes have those images in my mind. I've seen those riots. I was in Delhi. I was a school kid at that time. I'd come back from school, I remember, and when the riots took place. So all that is in my memory. Extremely unfortunate, extremely shameful. I mean, this is the darkest chapter in the history of independent India. It should never have happened, and the people deserve to be punished, of course. Chael Sahab, you were mentioning today when we were talking, you mentioned about, the action which happened in Galwan, and 4 Sikh soldiers, they also laid down their lives. You were giving me this data today, and you said that, but after that, these Khalistanis, so-called, they wrote a letter to China, expressing solidarity with China, in spite of the fact that the Chinese had actually, in a very insidious manner, in a very cowardly manner, actually killed or martyred 4 of our Sikh brothers in eastern Ladakh. What are your views about that?
So definitely I'll answer your question. And before I answer this question, actually I'll go back to the 1984. 1984 was not riots, it was a genocide. It was a pre-planned genocide by the Congress goons at that time of the Sikh community, not only within Delhi but outside the other states too. So that's why actually, so we Sikh people will never forget and should never be forget, and that was the genocide of the Sikh community. Coming back to but Mr. Pannu and the Sikhs for Justice, their shameless activity when 20 army people, they sacrificed their life for their country, India, and out of them 4 people was the Sikh people over there. So they were the very young people over there, Sikh like the army people, Najwan from Punjab. This shameless guy, instead of doing anything positive for the Sikh community, and he end up praising the Chinese government. and also even the Pakistani government. From there, actually, so these activity will tell you actually, so they are not, they have nothing to do with the Sikh community, and they are basically anti-Sikh people. Whatever the Pakistani deep state wanted them to say, and they twist their arm, and that's what they are saying actually. So nothing more than that, and we should not. Because sometimes the people think actually, so they have a flag, and so they have a turban, and these are the Sikhs. No, having the turban does not mean actually, so you are the Sikh. Anybody can put the turban on, anybody can have the long beard. That does not make you a Sikh. In order to be a Sikh, you have to be a human first. And you have to believe in the philosophy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. You have to believe in the philosophy of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. You have to believe in the philosophy of Guru Granth Sahib. These people have nothing to do. They are not even close to the philosophy, because if you are a true Sikh, any of your army jawan is being killed by by Pakistan or by the China, you should be the first one to condemn that. And also, not only that, then they issue the statement, they're gonna give the 5,000 rupee more if anybody from the army, any Sikh from the army gonna leave the army and join them, they will give the 5,000 rupee. And that these are the shameless activity. And also, recently during the COVID time, they end up giving the call, and they make more than 20,000 automated call that anybody who was the victim of the COVID, and they're gonna give them the 5,000 rupee, but the condition is they have to register the Khalistan, the votes for them for their referendum. If the person is offering to win the 5,000 rupee to offer a prayer, to offer a ardas at Akal Takht Sahib, how shameful is that? And also, these people say, go ahead and raise the flag in some building, in government building in Punjab, and some people they did, some kids they did, and they end up putting the flag, Khalistan flag, on the DC office in Moga. Now these kids are in the jail, and one of them is 19-year-old, another one is 22-year-old, and now these people they were giving them the money, and now who's gonna follow up their case? These people gonna suffer, and these people then they build their dukandari on their suffering. This is the basic ongoing trend over here. And also, when the kids go there, actually, so they try to radicalize them over there in the US and also in Canada.
Chael Sahab, I come to my last question, and I would like a slightly detailed answer from you, sir. This entire thing about referendum 2020, this was something that was propagated by ISPR. The Pakistani armed forces have inter-services public relations, ISPR. They propagated it. The ISI, the Pakistani army, and all their social media handles, they propagated this referendum 2020. Now 2020 is over. Now they'll probably have to launch 2021, referendum 2021. But what do they hope to achieve by this? I mean, because you also mentioned this, and I was speaking to Terry Milewski, and he also said the same thing, that Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Khalsa, they were raised as people who fought against tyranny, who fought against what we call zulm, to fight against zulm, to protect the common man, to protect the poor people. Right. Number one. Number two, Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire was actually based out of Lahore. I mean, that was the capital of Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire. So when you look at this entire concept of so-called Khalistan, in their map of Khalistan, there is no Pakistan at all. So they have left Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire, which extended up to Afghanistan. They just left it. And all they are doing is talking about Indian Punjab. So what happens to referendum 2020, Chael Sahab?
Major Saab, as I mentioned right in the beginning, this referendum 20 or 2021 or maybe 2025, this is fake. This whole stuff is fake, and there is nothing. People, 99.9% people has nothing to do with the Khalistan. For me, or for majority of the people, whoever I talk to, actually for them, the whole India is Khalistan. If these people, they want to have a Khalistan, as you mentioned, they should also include the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Raj, all the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Raj, and the Khalistan, the capital should be the Lahore, should be the capital of the Khalistan. Not only the Pakistan, some part of the Afghanistan should also be the part of the Khalistan, and some part of the China should also be the part of the the Khalistan. Because this is from there, as you can see their hypocrisy. They cannot even dare to say anything when they visit Pakistan. They always visit Pakistan because these people, they cannot come to Punjab. They are not willing to come to India because the reason not actually, so they are like there is a threat to them. They are not coming because they have been discarded, and the people, those who raise the issue of the Khalistan, even like Mr. Simranjit Singh Mann, he was the lately biggest propagator of the Khalistan. He has been totally discarded. He could not even save his deposit during the election. From there, as you can see, at least, so how much support is there on ground in Punjab. So these people having no support, they always make it. They try to create a sensation because now the agenda is very clear. Now all these people, they praise Pakistan. I don't know at least why. What is the reason? At least how they praise it, and they always visit them. They always even they invite these guests from the Pakistan to their Gurdwara over there. They honor them because the message is very clear for them. These people, Pakistan, at least so they try to cash the people from, especially from the diaspora, their sentiments, and it was a commercial project for them. So that's why it failed. And slowly the cat is coming out of the bag.
Thank you very much for joining us, Sukhi Chahal Saab. It was indeed a pleasure and a privilege to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, with Mr. Sukhi Chahal, he's an NRI, a lone person fighting against the hordes of Khalistanis, whether in Europe, in the USA, or Canada. He spoke about the motivation of these so-called Khalistanis, where they get their funding from, how Pakistan controls them, how they are pro-China, and how they have absolutely zero support in Punjab, and their support base, even abroad, is slowly dying down. Thank you for joining us. I'll come back to you next week with another special guest. Till then, from my team and I, Jai Hind.